jitters, you guys. The absolute jitters are ridiculous. You know what I didn't do? Oh no, hold on. Okay, it doesn't even, it's okay. It's okay, because I should be able to get it. No, I can't reach. I was supposed to take the dinosaurs down. Hold on. This is a terrible start to the first show. No. You guys, hold on. I'm so sorry. Oh, man. I sat there, was like, you're so forgetting something. You're forgetting something. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're all better. I am so sorry. Anyways, how is everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lessons learned. First show here. We have a couple of guests today. Our first one is going to be Crochet with Shay. She's going to share her story. And then up next, we're going to have Sillylilly. Hi, Shay. How are you? We're going to give it a few minutes. I think about 5 minutes or so. I'm here. I know. I believe you guys. I believe you guys. Breathe, right? Everybody just relax. I'm excited, you guys. I really am. I'm nervous though. They'll be back, Josh. It's just for the show. I wanted something a little less busy behind me. I thought that was more respectful to the guests. I don't know. They'll be back. I promise. I promise. So today is, again, it's the beginning of Lessons Learned. It's going to be a show. We're going to have hi, Jilly. Welcome. Oh, I'm excited, you guys. So Jilly's going to go second, and we're going to have Crochet with Shay soon. Again, I'm new at this, so I'm not really sure how I am supposed to, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say. So thank you so much for the roses. Bear with me a little bit on this first run, and we will we'll learn as we go. You're new here. So Josh from Ohio, this is my very first show on this platform. So I'm new to this today as well. But yes, we're gonna give it a go. I figured, why not, right? You're new here too. I find that hard to believe, Jay. So I guess just to do like a little introduction while we're letting some more people come in. It's going to be a little repetitive, I guess. Crochet Shay is going to be our first guest. We're going to kind of give her the stage. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself, and we'll hear her story. I'll ask some questions, and I don't know, hopefully we all get to learn a little something today. The cute Pooh Bear behind me? No, that's the grandkid stuff. Maybe we're gonna have to move those too, right? Or I'll have to sit up good and tall where you can't see them. Zia, hi, I'm good. It's gonna be hard for me is not acknowledging everybody as they come in. I guess it's okay to do that now, right? But it's gonna be hard. When someone's talking, I'm okay with ignoring you guys. But when there's no one talking, so in the middle in the segment, I found online, and I probably should have wrote down who did it. General welcome is okay. Thank you, Divine. And in our intermission, we're going to take a little quiz called "Do Your Feelings Need a Reality Check?" And I don't know. I thought it was just something cute we could do together. It kind of gives us all a little bit of a different outlook. So we'll see. I'm excited for that. And then I did look up a couple other little. So it's hard, Jilly. I've never done the show mode, so I'm like, we got to do this. So yeah, do your feelings need a reality check? We will do that in between our guests, and then we will kind of, I guess, go over it maybe after the second guest. Again, we'll do like a little brief run on it. I did look up a couple other little things in case. They're both gorgeous. So, okay. I guess Crochet with Shay, if and when you are ready, just go ahead and hit that plus box. If you need a minute, that's okay as well. But when you're ready here in the next couple minutes, we'll get started. we'll go from there. Thank you for the snowballs. Oh, I'm going to miss comments, guys, and I'm too afraid to scroll up because you guys know I have really, really bad luck and I end streams. So if I miss something, I'm really sorry. If you really wanted me to see it, just go ahead and repeat it until I can wink at you that I've seen it. No, I won't. When there's someone in the box, that's what I mean, emoji. Like right now, I'm she's like, breathe. I'm a little nervous, but once someone's in the box, I know not to. Thank you for the heart eyes and the stars. I will be focused on them. It's not going to be what's going on in the stream. Do you know what I mean? Hello, everybody. You guys are watching the first ever episode of Lessons Learned. You'll have to forgive me. I'm going to be in show mode. When I stream, we're usually a little more relaxed and not so tense, but I have a feeling in time we're going to be okay. And that being said, I have Crochet with Shay ready to hop in the box. And I am going to make her.
Hi.
Honey, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Oh, thank you so much for being a part of my very first show. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so yeah, I guess I'm just gonna kind of give you the reins. I'll let you tell your story, and then we can go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So yeah, go whenever you're ready.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, I guess I'm going to be talking about my experience with drugs, drugs and assault. So I was 16 when I decided to use drugs, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever because I didn't have to really focus on myself anymore or anyone else around me. It was just kind of all about me. And at the time, it seemed like it was the way out for me, like an easy escape. And I was running away from a lot of things that had happened to me instead of facing it head on. And I didn't care about what anybody else thought. But as time went on, it's like, what do you talk about? What do you not talk about with this, right? It's hard. It's a lot harder than I thought. Wow.
I think that we can be a little more open than, you know what I mean? We just have to, I don't know, maybe say the first letter or something, or I don't know. It's yeah, it is kind of on that line.
Yeah, it is.
So what was, I guess, maybe if I ask, I'll try to ask questions, maybe it'll help.
Yeah.
What was the initial reasoning that you started? Like, was it like what were you trying to escape? What was maybe that's the wrong way to ask it. See,
Actually,
when you were doing it and you were escaping it, like escaping your feelings by using, in the end, ultimately, it only really made it worse, though, right? Like,
oh yes, my feelings definitely needed a reality check. Definitely did. I needed help, but there was a lot of other things going on around me. My father at the time had failed back surgery, so I was devastated about that. He was the one person I felt like I could talk to. And I was running away, I guess, from my PTSD. I had undiagnosed PTSD at the time.
okay.
So, and that stems from childhood abuse that had happened to me.
Oh, okay, that's awful.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's much different when you're a child versus an adult on how you deal with things and how you carry yourself moving forward. So I was sexually assaulted multiple times as a child, and then I was when I was 16. So my way of coping was to just, you know what, I'm gonna pick up that joint and I'm gonna smoke it. I don't care anymore. I don't care about myself anymore. I hate myself. I can't do anything right. I was having horrible nightmares every night, and everyone was calling me a liar. So, and then my father, who I loved so deeply, I loved him so much, and he was the only one I could talk to, had failed back surgery. So I just really didn't care about anything else that was going on around me. And I especially hated myself. Um, it was really, really hard. I really shouldn't be alive right now, but I am. And I'm glad I am, because I have a wonderful daughter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So at what point, I guess, like, at what point in your life, like, what was that moment where you were like, oh my gosh, I have got to change. I can't do this anymore. Like, what was that moment like? Like, tell me about that moment where you knew that it was one way or the other, and how did that go?
So that didn't really happen until I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And at first I was like, I can't do this. I can't even take care of myself. And I had a mental breakdown, and I ended up in crisis. So I was in the hospital, and I just came out and said, I don't know if my baby's okay. I did drugs. And they gave me a 3D ultrasound, and I fell in love. I saw all those fingers and all those toes, and I'm like, I can't do this. And I'm like, I have to care about her. I have to care about this baby. Like, I can't let anything bad happen to my baby, like what happened to me. And it was hard during my pregnancy, but I actually stopped smoking. I stopped using, and by the time she was born, I just couldn't put her down, and I haven't turned around since.
Nice. So is there things that you do to stop yourself from wanting to go back to using? Is there like because I'm sure I know for me, I've had my history, and I know I have my ways and my things that I have to do to refocus my brain, because sometimes I'll get that old feeling where I'm like, oh my God, I'm miserable, I can't do this, and that's instantly what I think. Escape, escape, escape. But then I'm like, no, because then you're going to be broke on top of all the rest of this, on top of feeling like poop, on top of everyone's going to be mad at you, and God knows what else. So what is your go-to? How do you keep yourself from resorting back?
So I take medication for my PTSD, which helps tremendously. And I can spot treat it. I don't have to take it all the time, which
Go, come right back. That's okay. I think she had a phone call and was trying to get rid of it. Just come right back, honey. So you guys are here watching Lessons Learned with Lily. Well, it's Lessons Learned, and I'm Lily. It's our first show today, so bear with me, please, as I'm getting through my jitters here. But we're going to welcome back Crochet with Shay here, and she's going to go ahead and continue.
I'm busy. Sorry.
That's okay, honey. That's okay.
Sorry. So my trade-off for me, I'm a little ahead of myself there. So what I did was I started drinking a lot of coffee. So my big thing is I still crave a cigarette to this day. So what I do is I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee. And that's my trade-off. So instead of smoking, I'm having a cup of coffee.
Do you sleep?
I do. I sleep a lot, and that's part of the PTSD. I sleep a lot.
When I stopped and I was getting so that was my trade-off. I went to coffee. If I wanted a drink, I went to coffee. It's funny. And before it, I never drank coffee, but it was something that, because I didn't really like the taste of alcohol, so I didn't really like the taste of coffee. So it's kind of like that, you know what I mean? So like I wasn't supposed to get addicted to coffee, but here I am every day, like I need my coffee, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, mine's actually, I'm making a chilled one today. I said I better not drink my whole coffee before the show because I'll be super jittery. So how is your life different, I guess, now versus back when you were active? I guess like your overall quality of life, and I guess maybe how you handle little moments. How is it different for you?
When I used versus now, you mean?
Mhm.
Make it, yes. Okay. So for me, then versus now, there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of changes, especially in how I think and how I handle things, and how I handle intruding memories, especially. For me, it's but how would I say I handle it? I would say that I just handle it, one step at a time, baby steps. That was the first thing I ever learned, was to take baby steps.
Mhm.
And don't think about tomorrow, think about today. And then I practice a lot of gratitude versus before, what the things that I'm grateful for. And that really helps with the depression too. There's so many things. And mindfulness. I didn't practice mindfulness then like I do now. And I just make sure to do a lot of self-care, because I find that I need it a lot more, probably than the average person. But it's okay though, because when I do my self-care versus in the past, which I never did, I know I'm going to be able to take care of the people that I love right now.
Yeah. Um, so I guess like that's just awesome, because I know a lot of people, they struggle, they struggle with the gratitude especially. And I think that you hit a huge point with gratitude. It is everything. If you wake up every day and you're and you're all mopey and instantly, like, here, random, I don't know if you know who Mel Robbins is, but I now wake up every day and I high five myself in the mirror. I will talk about that more later on, because I used to look in the mirror and be like, oh. So now I'm like, no, stop it. And I listened to her and she gave me absolutely zero excuses to continue to be like that. So I started waking up and I high five myself in the mirror every day. And when you're high fiving yourself, just like with anybody else, you really can't think negative thoughts. Your brain is not trained to be negative. So I high five myself. I tell myself I've got this. I tell myself it's going to be a good day. I set a little bit of a game plan, and then I go. Whereas before, I woke up and I'd be hungover and I was trying to dig for my cigarettes, because if I didn't get my nicotine in 3 minutes, I was going to start screaming at the kids, like, "Rah!" So that was a funny noise. Sorry. But so yeah, it's really crazy how, I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes. I do mine is my vape. This is but I will be say 72 hours with no nicotine at all.
Great. That's how I started to quit. I vaped.
Yeah.
Yes, it does work if you're trying
So
to get off that nicotine or
when
lower it.
the difference when you wake up with that positive mindset and you go on with your day with being positive and looking for the good,
Yes,
you just feel so much better.
it does.
Everything else just kind of it goes smoother,
Or just ending your panic with, you know what? I got through this. I did good. Just telling yourself that I handled this. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
That is huge.
Crazy thing is, what most of us don't realize in the midst of everything that's tearing us apart in that moment, is we are 100% with our survival rate. We have literally gotten through every battle we faced. We might not have won them all, but we've got through them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We have survived them all.
Yes.
Like that, and hearing someone tell me that, I was like, well, dang it. Like,
Yes.
I have. I might not have won them all, but when you lose, you learn. So is that really losing?
That's very true. That's very intuitive.
You get stronger by learning.
You do. What doesn't hurt you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
It's crazy. Let's see, what else was I curious about?
Yes, be your own best friend. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you don't love and respect yourself, why is somebody else? And that was a hard lesson. That was a lesson I just learned a couple years ago, I think. You have to love yourself. You have to put yourself first once in a while. Even in front of my kids, sometimes I have to be like, no, this is me. This is for me. And it's that self-love, that self-care. It takes you a long ways too. let's see, what other questions? Um, when you did you have, like, was there other things that you did along your journey to help keep you on the right path? Did you do like have you taken therapy or even counseling or anything like that?
I did. What really helped me when I was ready, though, I had to be ready. Took me a long time to be ready. Was I started counseling with Serve. Anyone that has gone through sexual abuse as a child, as an adult, or knows someone that has, should really, really consider doing therapy with Serve. And they are free. They offer, their services are free. They are through family services. They are wonderful. They're the ones that really put things straight for me.
Will you spell that so that the people who are here, if they have been through something and they, or even if you could write it in the thing after we're done talking or now or whenever, but that way people who really do need to reach out, because I think a lot of people are really afraid to take that move and to make that change, because facing your feelings is really scary. You know, like when you finally go, okay, I have to face this now. Not only, you know, are you facing that little thing that you originally masked, you are now facing every single obstacle that you have put yourself in along the path. You know, now you've got amends to make with people along with yourself.
Sorry.
And it's okay. So it's just, it's to be able to have that, to be able to have a fallback, to have somebody to talk to, I guess is kind of where I was going with this. Sorry.
But it's
I have to stop looking down. I keep getting distracted. Like I might have to turn the comments off.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, yep, you got it. But it's so important, though, to get help from the right therapist. Like, these therapists are trained for this specifically and nothing else.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I didn't have to, I've not had to deal with that. I've had my fair share of issues, and I've spent several years in therapy. And honestly, I kind of went in because I kind of had to, and I knew that. But I did it ahead of the game, and it was the best thing I ever did for myself. Wholeheartedly, hands down. And the thing is I even knew the lady, she was my son's therapist at first, okay? And so I knew her, and he said, I'm not going to a girl, I want a guy. And I told her, I said, I like you, I'll be back. But it took me over a year of arguing with myself in my head just to go see her. And she would check on me every time he had an appointment. She'd go, are you ready yet? You know, and I'd be like, I'm getting there. And finally one day, like I said, I was like, okay, it's time. And that was one of the best things I ever did for myself. And a lot of people that I know knock therapy. So it took me a long time to put myself in it. And oh, man, I'm like a whole different person.
I mean, what's better than having someone that's trained and knows so much knowledge and has so much knowledge on, you know, certain things, and on how to deal with them? How can you not go see them? You know, once you're at that point where it's like, okay, when you recognize I need help.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. All right.
Well, but I have the number. Could I give the number to the?
Yeah.
Okay. So guys,
right, Jay, she can give a number, or should we type it? Maybe maybe we'll go ahead and we can type it after the show. Like I can post it on my Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, and you can post it on yours, and I'll tag you or something like that. But yeah, if you want more information, definitely stay tuned. You can reach out to me on Instagram, Sillylilly721, and I can give you that. We will put I believe she can put the name of the company down there in the text on the bottom for you guys. But you can reach out to me if you have a hard time finding it. But I don't know about the number.
Not just in the so then I'll just put in the box down here SERV just in case.
Okay, so it is SERV is the name of
yes.
the people you guys can talk to.
Okay. Yes, and they are completely free.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
Okay.
They're great
Oh,
over there. So there you guys go. If you want to Google that. Oops, big thumbs. Hopefully I don't click out. Okay, we're good.
so is there anything that you wanted to share with them, more about your journey, or did your family ever maybe notice a difference in you as you got your stuff together, or friends? Um, and I guess it wouldn't have been good for your daughter had you not stopped. So that's really awesome that you were strong enough to do that. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But to this day, I'm still considered a liar. But that's okay though, because with therapy, you know, they help you to get through all of that, because that's really common for family members to think that you're lying or that you want attention. That's very common. Get help anyway. You know what happened to you. Get help. And it's okay to need help.
Yep. Okay. I am going to go ahead and I will let you rest. I thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll definitely be checking you out some more. You guys, if you haven't already, please favorite Crochet with Shay. You can check her out. You can go talk with her, especially if you do have some questions after listening to her. This is Lessons Learned with Lily, and this was our first guest, Crochet with Shay. So again, everybody, just give her a favorite and just thank you, Shay, so much.
Thank you.
And you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. You too, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, honey. All right.
I'll get there.
You're good. Okay, so as promised in our little intermission, I said I would do your feelings need a reality check. But first, actually, before I do this next, Jilly, how much more time do you need, just so that I can plan this out accordingly? If I should try to quick, or we'll just go nice and slow. You're ready? All right, well, did you guys want, can I go right into the second guess and do this at the end, or should I do this little middle part? I believe they recommended that I do the middle. Okay, so we'll do this, and then Jilly, we will have you on right after, okay? So I guess I'm just going to ask, and I'm going to let you guys answer in the comments. I put the comments back on. This is, do your feelings need a reality check? I did pull the quiz offline. I cannot take credit for it. If you did want to know where I get it, I will pull it back up and I can give you that information on IG, because I don't want to take credit for anything that's not mine. So the first one, you guys ready? You're going to just put true or false. I am the authority on my feelings. I am the authority on my feelings. Jake. All right, I think we're overall getting the same true. And yes, my feelings are unique to me alone. They are completely internal. No one else can see them. Unless I express my feelings, no one can share them, right? But I guess an example of that would be, my daughter. She had a bad day at school the other day, and I didn't know. And we were talking and doing something, and she was getting really, really frustrated. And she snapped at me, and I was like, whoa. And she's, well, I'm just already having a bad day. And I had to tell her, I was like, honey, you have got to share what happened. I can't read your mind. If you need a calm down day, then we need to talk about that. So expressing your feelings, sharing your feelings, it's important. It really is important. But we do have control over our feelings. I am the authority on my feelings. All right, number 2, true or false? You must accept what I feel. You must accept what I feel. I knew this was going to get you guys. So true. Now here's why. You must accept that I feel what I feel as presented by me. I am the authority on what my feelings are. You cannot dispute what my feelings are because they are 100% subjective and non-observable except by me. We don't have to like them, but we do have to accept how people feel. So it's one of those situations where I guess, you know, it's when you're at work, you know, you might not always like what's going on, but sometimes you just, you know, this one person may look at something one way and you completely don't understand why would you feel this way about that. It doesn't matter why, that's how they feel, you know. So number 3, I have to listen to my feelings. I have to listen to my feelings. I have to listen to my feelings. 11. This is actually true. Now here's why. You should listen to your feelings. They give us important information. If we feel sad, irritated, or anxious, we should stop and listen. We should feel those feelings, and we should probe the origin of those feelings. Why am I all of a sudden, like at the beginning of this show, I was really nervous, but I kept telling myself, no, I'm excited. I'm not nervous, I'm excited. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be fun. I have 2 great guests. I've got the middle planned out. We're going to talk, and I'm really good at talking, so it's okay. And so instead of allowing myself to feel scared to get in and to do this, I just kept telling myself, I'm excited. I got this. I'm excited. And but it's important that I can recognize how I feel in different moments. Our body doesn't know the difference between nervous and excited. Our body reacts the same way. We have to tell ourselves how we feel. And the more that I tell myself I'm excited, the less nervous that I got. I'm very, you know, it was nice. Guys, thank you everybody for the gifts. I appreciate it. We are here, lessons learned. I am doing a little quiz that I found online. I cannot take credit for it. It is called, Do Your Feelings Need a Reality Check? Okay. Here's the next one, true or false. You must validate my feelings. You must validate my feelings. True or false? You must validate my feelings. All right. So this one is false. Again, here's why. Because feelings are internal and subjective. They may or may not fit objective reality. If my feelings are telling me lies about myself or the world, I need to know that. True compassion will not reinforce dysfunction. Poor thing, no wonder you're upset. You know, something like that. True compassion will help me break free from my unhealthy emotions. True compassion will help me break free from my unhealthy emotions. So so the question was, true or false, you must validate my feelings. But feelings are internal, they're subjective. You know, we don't you can tell me how you feel, but I may not feel the same. Do you know what I mean? But if you are compassionate about one's feelings, that's going to help you break free from your own unhealthy emotions. Like that was a hard one for me to swallow. I read that probably 5 or 6 times, and I was just like, wow, huh, interesting. Okay, you know, like, man. But anyways, we're gonna move on to number 5. Okay, so again, you guys, we are doing a Do Your Feelings Need a Reality Check quiz that I stole from online because I found it very useful for me, and it kind of gave my feelings a reality check. So I thought we could do that on here. Which one? Read the "You must validate my feelings," or are you being a punk? Oh my goodness. All right, number 5. I feel unsafe, therefore I am unsafe. True or false? I feel unsafe, therefore I am unsafe. True or false? All right, this is false. There's a big difference in not feeling safe and not being safe. You should believe me when I say I feel unsafe, but before taking drastic action, you should actually make sure that they're unsafe, or that I'm unsafe. You can feel, okay, if you're in an airplane and you hit turbulence, you're okay. But in your mind, and if you're scared to fly, you are instantly, oh my God, and you're freaking out. But it's okay. It's going to be okay. You know what I mean? It's, maybe you're walking into your dark basement. And I don't know about you, but I am 40 years old and I still cannot walk into a pitch black basement because I feel like the boogeyman's going to come out and bite me. I don't know. But I feel unsafe. I'm not unsafe. The worst thing that can happen is a mouse would run across my foot or something, But like, we lived by the woods. But just because we feel unsafe does not mean we are unsafe. However, as a person on the outside, if you see that there's actual threats to one's safety, they need to be addressed immediately, whether the potential victim feels unsafe or not. You know what I mean? So like if you see something that's unsafe, you have to help it be addressed. But just because you feel unsafe, yep. So number 6, you must give me a safe space for my feelings. You must give me a safe space for my feelings. True or false? This one, you guys, is false. I am not entitled to retreat to an emotional safe space. At the least provocation. When we talk about emotional safe spaces, what we mean are places where our feelings are free from challenge and debate. Okay? But freedom from challenge means no growth. So, as stated in number 4, true compassion will help you break free from your unhealthy emotions. Where was I going with this? Sorry, you guys. Oh my goodness. So, because our feelings are 100% internal, the more that the more we let the outside critique us, the higher the risk that they will deviate from reality. I'm sorry. And the last true or false, I messed that one all up, but the last true or false question that I'm going to ask you before we get It's Jilly Baby on here is, it's bad for me to stuff my feelings. It's bad for me to stuff my feelings. So this one is actually false, and here's why. This one got me too. There are many situations where it is appropriate, even mandatory, to stuff our feelings. Your emotions may be boiling at a coworker, but exploding will only make matters worse. Okay? So even if you are at home, or will make matters worse, and even if you're at home with a sympathetic family member, vomiting your feelings all over them, it's not going to be productive either. Along with courage, self-control has become a forgotten virtue. And I see it and I felt it prior, like I feel it, and it hits hard, because courage and self-control, you don't see that in a lot of people, especially online, and that was crazy to me. And honestly, if we're gonna keep it real, as adults in the world that we live in, sometimes you just gotta suck it up, buttercup. Suck it up, buttercup. If you're not gonna lay on your deathbed thinking about it, is it really worth ruining any more of your moments? Nah. I mean, I know it's easier to say than do, but that being said, you guys, this is Lessons Learned, and we are going to ask it's Jilly Baby if she is ready to come in the box so we can hear her amazing story. She's like, let me in. And yes, if you guys are looking to be on the show, you have a story you'd like to share, please message Emoji J on IG. And a special shout out to Emoji J for all of your help. How are you, Jilly?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you, Divine.
So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of give you the floor. I feel like you're
Okay. So when we spoke, I was just gonna share my lupus story. I've shared that on this platform several times. I talk about it frequently. So I'll jump right into it. So in 2017, I had just officially moved to New York. 2016, so backtrack. 2016, I literally lived out of my suitcase. So I decided I had been laid off from my job that I've been in for a while, and I decided I wasn't gonna just work. So I took my savings, I didn't renew my lease, and I literally just lived out of my suitcase from the year 2016. I traveled, I just kind of went wherever I wanted to go. So it was my first time, in 30 plus years of living, that all my time was 100% my own. So I could, stay longer, stay shorter. I didn't have to be anywhere. Nobody had to be anywhere for anybody. I could do anything. All my time was mine. So I spent that year traveling. And if I'd done it in my 20s, I'd probably I would have done it longer. But I was already in my late 30s. I was like, all right, this is cute, but I'm ready to have my own stuff. I want to sleep in a bed that is my own. So I ended up in New York by universe never makes, and God never makes mistakes. So I ended up there and it worked out and I moved here. So, it's January of 2017, in the beginning of the year, just got the place and I'm just having fun, right? Like, this is fun. New York, never been here, off in energy. And around the start of summertime is when I started to just notice some health changes. It started out just with a simple rash. I noticed on my chest and morphed into, January, July, so let's say May, June, July, August, but it's morphed into like a 3-4 month just complete health deterioration spiral. I had no idea what was going on. I'm giving you like the very short version of what has happened. It turned into multiple doctor visits. I think every ologist you can think of I was going to, and everybody was telling me nothing was wrong. Meanwhile, I was losing hair. So my hair that I have now, so by the end of 2017, I was bald. All my hair's gone. But it led to, being literally covered in red welts and rashes all over my chest and my arms. I probably had over 5, 6, 7 ER visits where my face would swell, literally my eyes would swell shut. I would be in pain. It's just all these random things, covered in hives, like all these random things. And throughout this whole time, literally being told everything looks normal, they don't know what's going on, or misdiagnosing me. So I've probably been, I was at one time they thought it was hepatitis C. They thought it was Lyme disease. At one point, they thought I had a blood clot, acquired angioedema, all kinds of things, but nothing really stuck. And it just took, in my case with lupus, I was very quote unquote fortunate, because the average diagnosis time for somebody with lupus is anywhere from 5 to 6 years. So for myself, you know, it was a very rapid ramp up, but persistent to just say, I don't care what you're telling me, something's wrong. And it took, you know, it took a specialist to just take a chance on me and to believe me and to just do different tests that, you know, the testing process for it is kind of like, it's like a 2-part test, right? So it's like if you get the necessary results in test A that merit for me to give you test B, then we do test B and then we get answers. But if your test A says, I don't need to test you for this any further, then we're not going to look into it. And that was my problem. My testing was coming back normal, so they didn't test further. So it took, you know, I don't know, doctor number 5, 6, 7 to just say, you know what, this is telling me not, you know, this is not leading me to this conclusion, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then when she did that, it just kind of just opened up the flood of information to just let me, you know, say, okay, well, this is actually saying this, which led to, you know, a sense of relief, right? And listening to you talk today, right? Like information is power, knowledge is power. And sometimes the most frustrating thing, if not the most frustrating, is not knowing, right? Is not knowing. I know Crochet Shay came on earlier and she, you know, not being believed, right? So, you know, a different circumstance, but it's very frustrating mentally and emotionally when you just know, like you just know in your heart, like this is, something's wrong. This is how I feel. I'm not an expert, but something is wrong and nobody is like backing you. You're like, you know, you keep telling me I'm not, but I know this is right. Like these aren't just feelings, right? They're feelings now because I'm frustrated, right? And I'm annoyed and I don't know what to do. And sorry, I always get emotional when I talk about this. To have somebody finally tell you like something's wrong, like, yes, we found something's wrong, is like such a relief, right? It's just such a relief emotionally to just be like, okay, see, I knew it. I'm not crazy. I don't like to throw that word around, but you do feel crazy, right? Was just like everything, right? So even the feelings, the physical changes that happened with me, like that's a different struggle, but the mental aspect of just being like, okay, I can put a name on it. I know what to do now, or I know what to do, but I can at least start the process to educate myself and to find out what I can do to help myself heal or be better, or at least put a name to it. You know what I mean? Like there's power in naming that, your feelings. When we talk about your feelings, right? When they ask you, you know, like, well, what are you feeling? To be able to label it makes it less, you know, you feel a little bit more in control, right? You feel like you have a little bit more control of what's happening when you can just be like, that's what that is. Okay, now that I know what it is, I can do something about it, right? Or at least try to do something about it.
Yeah, it's crazy because so many times, even for myself, you go to the doctor and they're like, no, it's fine, you're fine. And
right.
And you know that something is, you know your body. We all know our bodies. We all know what's normal. We know what's right. And it's sometimes it's hard to keep fighting the doctors to get that answer. And that that's awesome that you
yeah. And that's a huge lesson, right? And I think like the biggest lesson in that process, I mean, there's 2 parts to it, right? So just the taking care of yourself, right? I'm a big reminder of people, like you are the expert. I mean, you're your subject matter expert of your body. You've had it literally your entire life, right? And, you know, their job is to help you. But I always say this, like, you know, people tend to feel there's a stigma behind, they're the doctor, they have a degree, they have this, so they're the expert and I need to listen to whatever they say. And for me, when it comes to things medical wise, you know, I have a very opposite mentality after this situation is, you know, you're there to work for me. right? So when I'm going to visit a new doctor, that first visit, that's an interview to me. I'm paying attention to the things that how you're responding to what I'm saying I need, what your reaction is to how you think you need to treat me. Are you asking more questions? How is your bedside manner? Are you really picking up on what I'm saying? Are you rushing me? And also, if I may have ideas about how I want to be treated in terms of medical. Maybe I don't want to take a lot of pills. That's my goal. If you're not supportive of those things, then you're not the right doctor for me. And that's okay. Like, that's really okay. If you don't like a doctor, if something doesn't feel right, guess what you can do? You can go find another one. There's tons of them out there. Like I am the rheumatologist that I have now is my 5th one. And it took me that many to find one, that I was just like, and whatever that thing is for you, that they're supportive. A good tip, lesson that I learned too, is if you ever get a diagnosis and you want a second opinion, that's all right. And a good doctor will be supportive of that. Absolutely. If you want to get a second opinion, you should be supportive of that, because their end goal should ultimately be your well-being, you feeling better, you feeling comfortable, and you getting right. So for my current rheumatologist, when I went in there, through 5th one, I said, listen, I don't want to be on pills the whole time. Like, I understand I need to be treated and do these things, but that's my goal. And he didn't flinch about that. He just said, that's fine. Let's get you healthy first, and then we'll work on, a plan to do that. But that's my end goal. And he wasn't like, well, that's not possible because lupus isn't curable. It's treatable. You have it for the rest of your life. It's treatable. But it wasn't that's not possible. And it was like, okay, if that's what you want to do, let's find a way to do that in a safe and healthy way. Yeah. So that you're okay. And then the other lesson I learned on a personal level was, I think we all struggle with asking for help. I don't have family out here. All of my family is quite far away. But, I've been very independent for a long time. And instead of, I have a habit of, when things get really rough, I can take care of myself. It's fine. I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to burden anybody. So I'm just going to do this. And, people ultimately, guys, like, people really do want to help. Like, there's some people out there that just are awful, but in the big picture, like, as human beings, we do want to help. And so, after finally coming out and telling people what was happening, it was just kind of like a huge reminder that, you got to tell people what's going on with you. They tell people check on your strong friends and check on your people, which I absolutely agree. But I also, speak up, like, you'd be surprised, what's out there. And if people know to help, which is why I've loved this platform, I can share my story that can be helpful to somebody who may feel like they're embarrassed about it, because lupus is something you can't see. You wouldn't look at me and think that, I'm sick, or the things that I deal with lupus. It's an invisible disease, an autoimmune disease. But, you don't get to see that struggle on me. But, there's bad days and there's things going on that nobody will see. But if I don't say, hey, guys, I'm having a bad day. Like, I'm flared up. I'm in pain. I'm doing this. Or can you help me because my muscles hurt, or I can't get out of bed today? It's nothing to be embarrassed about. And I think people need to, these are things that society, I think, has either, ingrained in us, or we just kind of subconsciously feel like, I don't want to say anything because somebody might judge me, but, they're not. They're not. And if you need help, you have to ask. You have to vocalize that. I'm not perfect at it. My auto response is always still to just like go inside myself and just be like, no, I can figure this out. I'll just wait it out. But I'm getting better. At asking for help, or at least letting people know what's going on, so they don't just assume I'm, just kind of being a crappy person, for the day. Yeah.
I am absolutely 100% the same way. I definitely struggle asking for help, but I am reaching out more now than I ever have. And you're right. Then when you ask for help, people will help you.
Yeah. And yes, I see that. You got to choose your circle wisely, absolutely. Absolutely. But I think that you do have people to tap into. And if you have family or a support system to, at least speak up and let people know what's going on with you. Because the other part about it is, when we don't speak up and people don't know what's going on with you, then they don't, they respond or may treat you a way that if they knew what was going on, they may not do that or say that, right? Or we have acted differently, and then we kind of get stuck in our own mental warp of, see, I told you they don't care. And I told you that nobody's, well, did you say anything? Like, did you let them know, that maybe that was a tough subject for you, or that you're going through something? So those are like the two main things, at least from that process and kind of going through that really, I'm not perfect at them, sometimes I feel great and it's like, yeah, I don't need to do that. And then my body is like, you probably should have done that, because, you feel like you're okay, but you got to remind yourself that you're that, it's not the same, right? Your body's just different. And you have these struggles, and you still have to like take care of yourself, and put yourself forward and be vocal about it, so I still get emotional talking about it, but I love talking about it, because I think anybody, especially with a platform like this, right, when you talk about those things, you never know who's listening and who's there. And like I said, sometimes you just want to feel seen, or at least feel like you're not the only one.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's definitely important to reach out, and your story is amazing. You are so strong for continuing to reach out and to fight to get them answers, because you knew something wasn't right.
Absolutely. It's tough. It's tough, right? Because you just, you don't feel like you may not feel like, you feel like you're beneath, or, they're above you, and you shouldn't be saying this, and you should just take this diagnosis and go. But that's your life, right? And you got to think of it that way. Anytime you're doing anything with your health, that's your life, right? You only have one.
Yep.
We only get one to do it. So, I'm gonna make sure that the people that are giving me advice and doing these things are people that are on my side, and in my corner, and support the things that I'm trying to do when it comes to my health and getting better.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got some answers, and
yeah.
I want to thank you so much for coming on. But I think with time flew by, you guys. This was awesome. I'm going to let you go on about your day. And
Thank you.
Dane, thank you so much for being a part of my first show.
You're very welcome. All right.
Thank you. Bye. You guys make sure you hit It's Jilly Baby with the favorite as well. She's an amazing streamer. Crochet with Shay, she's newer, and she's been really good. You guys, both of the guests were absolutely amazing. Emoji J, thank you so much for your help. You guys are watching Lessons Learned. This was my first episode, and I am it felt really nice. I know I had a couple of oopses, but I guess we're gonna critique those and learn from there, right? You guys, if you want to reach out with Crochet with Shay, if you had questions, you reach out with her or me, and we can give you some more information on that. Again, Serve is the company. If you've ever dealt with childhood abuse, you can reach out to them for the free therapy. If you want more information on that, again, reach out to Crochet with Shay or myself. You guys, I'm still in shock. We did do our little reality check. Do your feelings need a reality check? And I think we can all say with honesty that ours definitely needed a little bit of a reality check. You guys, I want to thank you so much for all of the gifts. I want to thank you all so much for showing up. I'm trying not to cry in the last 1 minute that I have. Oh, that was amazing. I'm just so thankful, you guys. Thank you for being here. You guys, especially the ones of you in red that have known me and been here from the beginning. This is a huge step. So thank you so much, everybody, for the support. The new faces in here. Divine, are you still here, babe? Emoji J, help me. I want to do a shout out with her. When is her show? Because she has her show. And it's Jilly Baby. Her show is Entanglement. Entanglements, 2 for Tuesday nights, I think. Divine, she has a show. I think hers is Tuesday. I think they're both on Tuesdays. And if anybody else, Tuesday at 8 p.m. is Entanglement with It's Jilly Baby. Make sure you guys tune in with that. Make sure you have her favorited. Hers will stream across the top in that little banner. Hers is a featured show. And Shay, again, thank you. Jilly, thank you. Emoji J, thank you. I will post on my IG when Divine's show is. It's 11. I'm going to say my goodbyes. Divine, when is your show, baby? Really quick. When is your shows? When is your first one? We want to support you. You were here supporting us for our first show, February 5th, 2 p.m. You guys, Divine's gonna have her first show, and what's it called? Tandem Talent. All right, you guys, February 5th, 2 p.m. with Divine. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate every one of you. I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. You guys are amazing, and I love you. Mwah. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Bye.